Hey guys, it's Jeff. We are walking into the Park Fair Mall in the Highland Park neighborhood of Des Moines, Iowa, built in 1956. Now, as I come in the door here, we've got just a court on this end, and then you'll go down the escalators and over to the court on the other end where the Fairway grocery store is. So it looks like when they remodeled this mall, what they did is they took out the enclosure on the top and opened those spaces up for customers to come in right from the curb. So if I'm mistaken on that, if someone with a few gray hairs was in here before that was all done, please do correct me. But we'll look at the end court here and work our way down the escalator. The next enclosed mall to open in Des Moines was Merle Hay. And they actually opened as an open-air mall in 1959 and enclosed it in 1972. So Park Fair did have some time before they had to compete with another enclosed mall, but from what I can tell, Merle Hay took a bite out of their revenue right away when they opened as an open-air mall. Most of these businesses downstairs are not retail oriented. It's more of an office space setting. I don't think they necessarily need the mall environment. 3 immigrants named Lippman, Samuel, and Yonker started a general store in Keokuk, Iowa in 1856 that later became Yonkers. But it doesn't look like Park Fair had any major retailers like Yonkers. They had some national and some local brands. Cat's Drug, Western Auto, 17 Clothing, and Park Fair Fabrics were among them. But at just over 300,000 square feet, Park Fair is about 15% of the size of Jordan Creek's 2 million leasable square feet, so they wouldn't have had much room for larger stores anyway. But Park Fair deserves enormous credit for adapting well to the new retail environment. We look at Valley West Mall in West Des Moines, which is struggling now and seems to be close to closing. Wow, Park Fair did a good job opening up the upper level to outside entrances. In a couple minutes, I'll show you those stores on the outside. As a rule, peak mall was in the 1980s and early 1990s. So I suppose you could say that Park Fair was ahead of the game coming in the 1950s. And really, Southridge and Valley West nailed it coming in 1975. Jordan Creek was late to the game, opening in 2005. But of course, everyone likes the new and the nice. Now we're at the other end court of this straight single strip layout. Going up the escalator, you'll see the Fairway stores up here. And then we'll pan around and go back down to see the other side of the lower court. Highland Park has the appearance of being a small town that must have been gobbled up by Des Moines when it grew out. But like Oak Park, these were both planned developments between developers and the city of Des Moines as Des Moines grew north. Fairway Grocery Store was founded in 1938 in Boone, Iowa, and Fairway pretty much owned small town Iowa until small town Iowa started to disappear, and it just couldn't support the company anymore. So Fairway has come to the big cities, which we're very thankful for. It's a really well-run grocery store, and we appreciate it. I personally don't consider Park Fair a dead mall, as we saw from that directory at the top of the escalator. They have very few vacancies. I filmed this on Christmas Eve, so I'm not sure how many people were actually working that day. But it looks like almost all their space is occupied, which is fantastic. Okay, gang, we're coming up on what looks like it could have been a precursor to a food court. I'm hoping someone out there that sees this will know. I see these tables are arrayed around this place that had a window. Could that have been a window service for sandwiches or something? So please do let us know if you're familiar with this, how these tables were used in the past. There's a really cool business coming up here on the right that does look like they were working when I recorded. The Iowa Radio Reading Information Service serves 11,000 print disabled listeners throughout the state. So they will sit down and read materials from newspapers and such aloud each day. And people that subscribe get a special listening device, and they can listen to Iris. This is awesome. The Iowa Department for the Blind is actually nationally known as just amazing at working with and training people who need help. We often see them downtown with their canes and the masks, learning how to negotiate the streets. Okay, now we're on the end court again, where we first came in, and then we'll go back up the escalator, and I'll show you the tenants with the outside entrances. If you're a history geek, check out this display of Highland Park area artifacts at the escalator's base. Okay, now we're back at the top of the escalator, coming outside, and starting at the west end of the front of Park Fair Mall. Major tenants, you've got a furniture store. That's the main entrance we went into a couple minutes ago. You've got the hardware store, Ace Hardware. And unlike places like Jordan Creek, you can park right here on the curb and just run in. So this has got to be really convenient. And it's a good adaptation if I'm understanding correctly how they remodeled this. City Trends Clothing, and then Dollar Tree. The last major tenant is Fairway, and then I'll even take you around to see the back of the strip if you're enough of a geek like I am that you're curious about everything. But I spent some time in Highland Park on the day I recorded this, and I enjoyed it. Everything out here on the west side, Waukee, where I live, is so new and kind of sameness. But when you get over here into these more historic neighborhoods, there's so much more character. I really enjoyed hanging out over here. And I know that there are a lot of people that live in Highland Park that just love it over here. Please do post your nostalgic memories about Park Fair Mall and correct anything that I may have gotten off on here. And if you're a Highland Park, Oak Park fan, let me know if there are other destinations that you'd like me to cover, and I'll get back over there and cover some more. There's a lot of nostalgia about the malls. My most popular videos have been about Valley West, Merle Hay, and so do comment on here and give us your ideas, and please do subscribe if you like this content. My other mall videos are on my Jeff Talks Iowa TikTok. Somehow they were getting lost by TikTok after I loaded them, so that's why I shifted over to YouTube to record these longer videos about the malls. Hey, thanks for hanging in there until the bitter end, you one percenters. We'll talk to you soon.